Hello, this is Jane Goodall. The Great Apes Survival Partnership, or GRASP, was launched, as I'm sure you all know, in 2001 by the United Nations Environment Secretary. Its vision is to conserve and expand all existing wild great ape populations and their habitats to ensure their long-term viability. So we're talking about chimpanzees, gorillas and bonobos in Africa, and orangutans in Southeast Asia. They're our closest living relatives with whom we share a long evolutionary history. All of the great apes are endangered or critically endangered. And the same is true for the so-called lesser apes, the Scipanze and gibbons of Asia. They are, as their name indicates, smaller than the great apes, and they're known for their amazing agility in the trees and their magical and musical calls. All the apes are decreasing in number as a result of habitat loss. The orangutans suffer especially from replacing forest with oil palm plantations. Chimpanzees and orangutans fall victim often to animal trafficking. Mothers are shot and their infants are sold overseas as pets or for entertainment. In some African countries, chimpanzees and gorillas are sold as bushmeat, and also various body parts are sometimes used in witchcraft. International commitment to GRASP was reaffirmed at an intergovernmental meeting on great apes, and the first GRASP Council meeting was held in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in September 2005. At this time, the Kinshasa Declaration on Great Apes was adopted by more than 70 signatories. This current meeting of GRASP is the first after an 11-year interruption. And during those 11 years, an awful lot has changed, and most of it not good for the apes and their forest ecosystems. The warming globe is altering weather patterns everywhere, more and worse storms and flooding, more and longer droughts, more and worse fires. And this is affecting the habitats of many species, including the apes, especially those living in drier climates, such as the chimpanzees of Senegal, Mali, and southern Sudan. And during those 11 years, thousands more apes are being killed or taken from the wild, captives. The organized criminal networks profiting from the trafficking of infant apes and other wild animals has grown and become more deadly. It is, of course, illegal to traffic endangered species, and when young apes are detected by customs officials or concerned individuals, they will be confiscated. And this leads to another problem. They can't be returned to the wild for many reasons, and so they must be cared for in sanctuaries in Africa and Asia. Sanctuaries are costly to build, and they have to be maintained, the chimpanzees cared for and fed for many years, because great apes live at least 50 years. Horrifyingly, last year, 3 infant chimpanzees, just getting over the trauma of losing their mothers, were stolen from the Jack Sanctuary in the middle of the night, and they haven't been recovered. The situation is grim. On the one hand, there's a great lack of law enforcement. On the other, the traffickers are motivated by a growing demand in many countries for exotic pets. And this is fueled to a great extent by social media. How shocking that you can still, illegally maybe, but buy a great ape. Clearly, existing laws must be reinforced, and where necessary, new legislation must be introduced. Stricter penalties must be meted out to those illegally selling and buying wild animals. More and better equipped rangers are needed in the field, and surveillance at airports must be hugely improved. And there's need for campaigns to alert people around the world about the terrific cruelty involved in the trafficking of wild animals. There needs to be close cooperation between Interpol and local police, government officials, NGOs, scientists, and all who care about the health of the planet. Education programs for those living in and around great ape habitat are important, as well as programs that will allow economically poor communities to find ways of making a living without destroying their environment in order to survive. A good example is the Takari program of the Jane Goodall Institute, a truly community-led conservation program that is now growing. It's in 6 other African countries, as well as Tanzania. It's also really important that more people understand the very real danger to our health that's caused by increasing close contact with wildlife. A wild animal may carry a virus to which over the years the species has become immune, but which may create a new disease when it comes into contact with a human. Let's not forget that HIV-1 and HIV-2 were the result of butchering chimpanzees for bushmeat in 2 African forests. And Ebola spread between gorillas and humans. And the recent pandemic almost certainly originated in a market selling wild animals in China. There are many other examples, and this has led to the One Health program that links the health of people, animals, domestic as well as wild, and the environment. As you convene today, after an 11-year break in GRASP Council meetings, there are some new partners at the table, and hopefully your discussions and plans and commitment to action will lead to a new global strategy so that GRASP finally can accomplish its mission and make the future of the African and Asian apes more secure before it's too late. It would indeed be a black mark against our generation to allow our closest living relatives to become extinct. Their future is in our hands. I wish you the best of luck in your meetings. Come up with something wonderful. Thank you.